on this episode of Haunted Collector.
Here we are in Geneva, New York.
I actually physically got pushed. It's very scary.
Ended up killing her and then threw her in a ditch.
We're going to be investigating the historic Fort Wayne.
Something ran at me.
It was mayhem, 43 people killed.
John, what is that? Look at that.
Did you kill that girl?
No way.
There, go. Tom, is there a reason you're reaching out to her? My name is John Zappis. For over 40 years, I've been helping people with their paranormal problems. I found that spirits can attach themselves to objects and make life a living hell. That's where my team comes in. My son Chris, my daughter Amy, Brian, my tech guy, Jason, my researcher, and Jesslyn, my investigator. My job?
What is that?
Don't touch that thing. Find the haunted item and remove it. Because I am the Haunted Collector.
So, Dad, where did this come from?
It's made from a very old Spanish coin. I've been dealing with this woman. She got it, started having all kinds of crazy things going on in the house. Lash is getting thrown off the tables, shattering all over the place. She's so petrified she didn't even want the ring on the property or anything.
Well, we just got a new case and it's from a woman named Margaret. She looks pretty terrified. You want to take a look?
Yeah, let's see.
Hey, John, my name is Margaret, and I live here in Geneva, New York, and I've had a lot of activity here at my house, and it all started last spring. I've been pushed in my own bedroom. I have been scratched, as well as my granddaughter has also been scratched. My sister and I, we saw an apparition of a gentleman naked, and he had wounds all over his body. I love my house, and I want to stay here, but it just seems that things are getting worse. John, I really need your help. I want to feel safe in my home. I want my children, my grandchildren to come to my house and feel safe. And I don't want to have to sell my house.
She seems really upset, John.
Yeah, it sounds pretty intense, buddy. Round up the crew, and I think we'll be heading up to Geneva, New York to help this woman out.
All right.
Okay, guys. Had you guys really dig into a lot of things before we headed up here? What'd you find out?
Well, I found out Geneva actually sits on a large Iroquois Indian settlement. And when the American Revolution broke out, it created a war between the Iroquois Indians. And some sided with the British and some sided with the Americans.
Margaret, she's owned the house for about 15 years, and the activity started several months ago. She's to the point now where she's petrified to even let her grandchildren come into the house anymore.
God.
Pretty intense case. We need to dig in, guys, and see what we can find out. Hi, Margaret. John Zappis.
Hi, John.
This is my daughter, Amy.
Hi, Amy. Thank you so much for coming. Come on in,
Okay.
please.
So, Margaret, tell us what's been happening.
It was last spring, we started noticing things happening when we started remodeling the house. In this room in particular, I have heard the names Beth and Tom.
Do either of those names mean anything to you?
No. No. My sister and I saw an apparition here sitting on the couch. We only saw it for a few seconds, and he had wounds all over his leg and on his upper body, and we can't tell what period it was because he had no clothes on.
Margaret was very graphic on what this apparition looked like. Very seldomly will you see a full apparition, and she was able to give quite a few details. I don't know. That's something I want to look a little deeper into.
This is the computer room,
Mm-hmm.
and I do a lot of family research,
Mm-hmm.
and I keep it all inside this toy box.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, they're very old photos. I did find out an interesting thing about one of my relatives named William Fee. He was hung for murdering a woman back in the 1800s. Up here in the upstairs bathroom, when I'm in the shower, I seen the shadow just standing out here. And if I open up the shower curtain, I look out, and it's gone. It goes away. And I've been in the shower and I've had the shower curtain like fly open and nobody was out here.
Okay.
As you can see, we've been remodeling the bathroom now. And when we pulled up the flooring to put in the new plumbing, we found these old scissors.
These look like gardening shears. These are sterling silver. They probably meant quite a great deal to someone, and they've been around a really long time.
We're in the master bedroom here. One time I was in the closet getting dressed, and I actually physically got pushed in there. It's very scary. And I'm not the only one that has had physical things happen. My granddaughter has as well.
I understand that you've had some really weird stuff happening to you here, huh?
Yeah, I got scratch marks on my back. I started feeling a burning sensation on my back, so I went to my grandma, and she said I had scratch marks.
What else has happened?
I heard someone walking down the steps.
Was there anybody behind you on the stairs or anybody upstairs that could have made those sounds?
No,
How did you feel? Were you scared?
I didn't feel safe.
Anything else that's happening up in this area?
When I've been in bed, I actually been grabbed by my arm and had our sheets get torn. I thought they were going to drag me out of bed, but they were just tugging on me with my arm.
Okay, Margaret, don't let it get to you that way. We're going to do everything we can to try to help you out, kiddo.
Thank you so much.
Okay? Come here. Margaret is extremely upset when we're in the room. That concern, it's not only for her, but for her entire family. We need to find out what's going on in here. Just why don't you set this up so the pin will go off on the millimeter? I've invited Margaret to join our investigation. She's claiming that she's been pushed and scratched. I want to see if anything's going to happen while she's with us this evening. That'll definitely go off if there's something around. Can you tell us your name?
Are you connected to Margaret in any way?
You comfortable enough to ask a few questions?
Are you a relative of mine?
I want to do a full spectrum pretty much everywhere we go tonight. The full spectrum camera can see more than the human eye can see. Infrared and ultraviolet is included in what that camera can pick up. So if there's something that we're barely seeing or that's just out of our sight, hopefully the camera can find it. What do we know about these pictures?
That is a genealogy that she's doing with her family.
All right, I'm not getting much here. Let's move this upstairs. All right, I know some of the things that happen in here. She said she was in the shower, and she saw something on the other side here. In addition to that, supposedly it moved the shower curtain. Now,
Wasn't a gust or anything?
I don't know, and the only window is over here. I mean, it's possible. It could be a windy day. If this is open all the way, I'm not gonna assume that it must be paranormal, but it is a little weird. Guys, do me favorites, pull back the shower curtain. I'm not seeing anything on this. Nothing's really popping out.
Besides that, anything else in here?
This old pair of shears. She found this when they were renovating. I think they found it in the floor.
Nothing.
All right.
Not much happening.
Was that? Don't tell me what I think I heard.
Dude, check it out.
The shower curtain just moved.
We were gone for like 5 seconds.
Getting readings.
Maybe if the curtain rod was at an angle, but it doesn't look like it.
You getting anything?
No.
I don't have a good explanation right now.
Is there a Bess here? Is there a Tom here?
Tom, is there a reason you're reaching out to her?
Oh my God, there it goes again.
What the? Tom, is there a reason you're reaching out to her?
Oh my God, there it goes again. Oh my God!
What the? It just felt like something touched my bottom. But there's nothing here. I mean, it's just the couch. Okay. I felt like something was touching me. It was like these little electrical shocks that were going through the seat of the couch. I felt it on the back of my legs and on my butt. I think it's time for Margaret to leave.
Thank you, Margaret.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Well, right now we have two key pieces of information, so I'm going to really try to dig in, find out as much as I can about Margaret's relative, William Fee, and Amy's going to look into basically the general history of the land and see what we come up with. Ames, what'd you get?
Hey, I found out that during the Revolutionary War, George Washington ordered the takedown of the Iroquois Indians because they were giving supplies to the British. And in doing this, they were just destroying entire villages, burning crops. And Margaret's house sits in the center of the town, and the path literally went right through there. What they found amongst all the destruction was that the Iroquois had retreated out of the area, but they left behind a 4-year-old starving white child. They probably captured him and just left him to die. And he did die shortly thereafter, but they have no idea where he came from or who his family was.
Crazy. I did a little digging on Margaret's relative, William Fee. As far as the murder goes, it was quite horrific. It's a young woman that was walking home one night. He propositioned her. She refused. He ended up raping her, basically killing her, and then threw her in a ditch. Fee was hung at the jail just north of the house. But get this, the prison does have a history of alleged paranormal activity.
Really?
Is the violent history of the area somehow connected to the activity Margaret is experiencing here? Or are the dark deeds of William Fee still lingering and still causing pain? Tonight, Brian and I will investigate the living room. Chris will man the monitors. And I am having Jess and Jason look into the reported activity at the prison where William Fee was executed.
So we're doing an investigation, and the client is related to William Fee, and we know that this is, where he was hung.
Actually, this is the gallows. And it's not the type of gallows that, a trapdoor happens and you fall down and you're hung and your neck is broken. It's the kind that lifts you up.
Mm-hmm.
So a weight is dropped, you go up, and you hang there until you die.
Wow.
So he suffered for a long time? A long time. I think it was something like 10 minutes or so.
Oh, my God.
Is there any alleged paranormal activity happening here? We've heard voices. 2 of us were in the office one day, and we clearly heard a man say, "Hello?" There was no one in the building.
If you don't mind, we would love to investigate here. Do you think that's okay?
I'd love it. Be great. Thank you.
Great. Go get the gear.
Hey, Johnny, last night's full spectrum didn't give me too much, so tonight I figured let me break out the thermal.
Like I said, there was some type of activity that was taking place over in this area here.
Okay, readings are normal. What exactly happened?
Little electrical pulses is the best way I can describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing unusual, right?
Yeah.
See if you get any readings off the gallo beam here. All right, I'm not getting anything. I'm gonna set up the REM pod feature near this beam here.
If there's anyone here with us at all, can you give us a sign?
If this was the beam that you were hung from, can you let us know? Oh.
William, if you're here with us, can you give us a sign?
No way.
William, did you kill that girl?
Hey, guys, you there?
Yeah,
Yeah, Chris, go ahead. You might want to get up to the bathroom. I just saw the shears in there pop open and nobody's been in there.
What?
Confirmed, on our way.
I don't know why.
All right. There's the shears. Now, don't touch them yet. I want to get a reading on the thermal. It's interesting. It's reflecting your body heat. See that? Yeah, if you tighten that, it was just loose. It wasn't tightened all the way.
Let's see. And that's what it did, I betcha.
It sounds pretty rusty to boot.
Yeah.
Yeah. No reading off of it other than what's reflecting from you. What? John, what is that?
What the hell is that? Look at that.
What? John, what is that?
What the hell is that? Look at that.
Open that, please. Anything?
You seen anything now?
No. I got nothing now.
When Brian and I were up in the bathroom, him and I both looked over at the shower curtain area and we seen a very small form. I don't know exactly what it was. A child? A little person? Who knows? But there was something there. Wow. That was pretty wild.
William, are you the one visiting Margaret at her home?
The heck?
I think he's gone.
Hey, what's happening?
Seems like we've been communicating with William.
He confirmed his name about 3 or 4 times.
Really?
We were asking him, do you have any connection to Margaret? And every time, nothing.
We're kind of feeling like William's spirit might possibly be here, but it doesn't seem like it's the same thing that's happening in the house.
Why don't you guys pack up and head on back over here?
Okay, sounds good.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bri. Right now, I'm not thinking it's William's spirit that's here in the house. I think we're dealing with something totally different here. I don't know what yet, but I need to get a hold of Amy. I need her to dig in even deeper. In our research, Amy found out that a boy was found abandoned in Geneva during the Revolutionary War raids. I have a feeling this may be tying in, so I'm meeting with Walter. He's a historian who knows a ton about the area's past.
We have accounts in the soldiers' journals telling the story of finding this young lad that's 3 or 4 years old that apparently has just simply been left behind. The child appeared to be very, very weak at the time he was found. Looked really malnourished, probably very, very hungry. One of the soldiers, Thomas Mackin, really took a special liking to him. Then the child, in effect, got named Thomas Mackin.
Thomas. When he said Thomas, it hit me. That's the name that Margaret heard in her living room. It's also the name I was using when I was touched.
Unfortunately, we do know that he dies of smallpox within a year. It's just a tragic story.
Wow. After speaking with Walter, it's possible that orphan spirit is here in Margaret's home. I can't wait to get together with Margaret and share some of this information. Well, Margaret, there's a lot that's happening here. I'd like Amy to explain some of the things she found out.
Okay. I know you've been researching your family history and you found that there was a relative who committed a murder. So Jason and Jesslyn went to the jail where he was hanged, and they feel strongly that his spirit is there.
Oh, okay.
Also, during the Revolutionary War, the Native Americans were giving supplies to the British, so George Washington ordered a campaign. The campaign basically was destroying Iroquois villages and burning crops. So the land here saw a lot of bloodshed, a lot of devastation, and your house sits on the path of that campaign.
Oh, wow.
So when they came through this area, the Native Americans had fled already, and the only thing they found was a white 4-year-old boy.
I met with a historian today to give me even some more information on this. We had found out that the soldier that took him in, his name was Thomas. And they ended up naming the little boy Thomas.
Oh, wow.
Margaret, I have something I would like to show you on some evidence we captured upstairs. What I think that is the little boy.
Oh.
There's no doubt in my mind that we're definitely dealing with a child spirit here in the house.
Oh.
This little boy was never recognized. He ended up dying from smallpox a few years later. And I think one of the key things that is most important that we can do is give him some recognition. I'd like to present this to you and your family, and I'm kind of hoping little Thomas will be recognized and he'll be able to move forward.
I don't have to worry anymore.
Use all this information to your benefit. That's what counts. Okay? I also want you to realize and remember, this is your home. Take charge.
I will.
Okay. Spirits often reach out to us in ways we don't understand, and it's easy to be frightened. But if we acknowledge the tragic death of this boy, I'm hoping he may finally be freed from this world and find peace in the next.
Hi, John. This is Chris Forsythe from the Historic Fort Wayne. We'd really like you to come down and see what's going on around here. Lately, it seems like we've had a lot of pickup in activity. Apparitions, people hearing voices, people getting pinched, hair being pulled. I myself have had some really frightening experiences. I got rushed. It just felt like the cold air came right through me. The volunteers and guests, they're afraid to come down here. This site is in danger of closing, so any help that you could possibly give us would be great.
We're going to be investigating the historic Fort Wayne.
The fort began construction in 1842, and it was built to defend the U.S. northern border against invasion from the British armed forces.
There's about 50 buildings on the property. It's like a little mini city. What they're concerned about is people coming in and out. They don't want people being terrified of it. What do you guys see this?
It's like some kind of a horror movie.
Hey, Chris. It's my daughter, Amy.
Amy, welcome to the fort. Come on in. I'll show you around. John and Amy, we're in the old barracks building here at the fort. We want you to come in and check the place out simply because we have a lot of volunteers, including kids as well. We want them to come down to the site and not feel scared.
Fill us in on exactly what is happening.
Myself and another volunteer, we were just cleaning up for an event, and we kept hearing footsteps on the second floor. I could actually hear the boot steps on the ground. And as soon as I yelled out, "Okay, show yourself," something literally ran at me. It hit me, went through me, and went about 20 feet back and hit one of our volunteers, Joe.
What exactly did you feel? Whatever it was, we both felt. I mean, we felt the air come right at us. It was very cold, like almost like a solid, like if you walked into like a freezer, but it was air moving towards us. It hit us and then it was gone. It was frightening. Did you feel like it was threatening you? I did. I felt like it wanted its presence known. It did not seem friendly at all. It makes you wonder, am I safe here?
It was mayhem, 43 people killed.
Did you hear that?
That's right above us.
There.
Okay, go.
What the hell? Holy...
So what can you tell us about some of these items?
We have a tree that was taken from the Chickamauga battlefield, and it was given to the fort to commemorate Michigan Civil War dead that were there. As you can see, there are cannonballs that are embedded into the tree. We do believe those are Confederate 10-pound cannon overshot that was fired at Michigan troops.
Well, you still think about that, Chris, and seeing a battle like that, I can hold on to a tremendous amount of energy.
We're inside of one of the Sallyport tunnels here. Some of the activity that we get inside this area in particular is we hear a lot of footsteps. You can hear them walking up and down the tunnels like a soldier marching back and forth. Now, we have World War II reenactments here on site, and one time we had the reenactors actually staying in here, and there was this young kid. He was about 17 or 18 years old. He looked really kind of disturbed, you know, kind of shaken a little bit. So I asked him what was going on. He goes, well, the weirdest thing that happened to me is that my blankets kept getting pulled off. Not only did it happen once, it happened twice. One of the items that we do have here is a pair of 19th century field goggles that a sentry would have used to look out these cannon port doors so that way he could see if anybody was coming.
Chris, you know as well as I do, if the soldiers left or if they died or anything, a lot of the equipment always got recycled and reissued. These field binoculars have been in World War I and a good possibility of World War II. You know, you could have had some horrific events that this item was tied into, and the energy can still remain till this day.
All right, John, we're inside this guardhouse. It was built in 1889. And what they used this building for is like with any military facility, you had to have places where you could store people that broke military law and civilian law. The worst case criminals were kept inside these cells, as you can see here. The paranormal activity that happens is you get these big iron doors that will slam in the middle of the night. A lot of people will tell me that, you know, they get their hair pulled, they get physically touched. We do have another artifact, a presentation sword dated 1865. And as you can see, it's really, really ornate.
This was an extremely personal item that meant quite a bit of honor to them. I have many swords in the museum, you know, that do have things attached to them. All right, Chris, well, we're going to get the full team in here to see what we can actually find out for you.
We look forward to it, John.
Okay, buddy. This is a 180-year-old fort. There's a lot of history here, so we need to dig in and see what's true and what isn't. Tonight, Jess, Jason, and I will focus on the main barracks, while Brian and Chris investigate the tunnels and the guardhouse.
Very ominous. Let's get some readings in here. Okay, right here are the binoculars. Not getting any abnormal readings.
Come on in here, guys. It's really a unique artifact. You stop and think about it, where it came from. There's 3 cannonballs in it, to my knowledge.
I'm not getting any EMF. What about you, Jay?
Nothing yet.
What do you think about an EVP session?
Absolutely. Let's try.
All right.
Can you tell us what year it is right now?
Did you have to stay here? Did somebody bring you here? Play him back.
Can you tell us what year it is right now?
Did you have to stay here? Did somebody bring you here?
Right there.
Go ahead. Go back.
Did somebody bring you here?
Fire.
That's what I'm hearing.
What fire?
That's definitely something to check into for tomorrow.
All right.
Here we've got the ceremonial sword. I get a reading off of it. But yeah, the intricate design, it's definitely just for show.
Yeah. Where did that come from? Is there anything?
Nothing on this side. Check that side. Anything, Chris?
No.
All right. I don't think these pencils were knocked off the desk.
Totally.
Did it sound like this?
Yeah.
That's what I heard. Golf pencils on the table can roll off. It's possible gravity just took hold. If it is something supernatural trying to get our attention, it'll do it again. Put the pencils back. Put it over here. Let's make sure the window's closed.
All right. What? Did you see something?
Thought I saw something a second. There. Behind the pole. Go. Go. Take that side. What the hell? There. Behind the pole. Go. Take that side.
way around and checked in the street. Wasn't anything back this way.
At this point, I'm not sure if I'm chasing a shadow figure. All I do know, whatever it is, it's fast. Something's toying with us. I don't like this at all. Get John on the radio.
Hey, you guys there? Yeah, what's up, man?
Are you outside walking around?
No, we are not outside.
We saw someone walk from the other side of the courtyard, so we just hauled ass after it.
Huh. Well, this is pretty interesting. I'm not sure of the significance of the evidence we captured, but Chris and his staff are experiencing something here. We need to dig in tomorrow and see what we can come up with. Very interested to see what you can find out as far as research goes. All right, guys, let's wrap up for the night. Sounds good. All right.
Last night, we captured an EVP that said fire, which could be a battle cry, but no wars were fought at Fort Wayne. However, I did learn that massive fires swept through the area during the Detroit riots in 1967. So today we're going to meet with a historian, James Conway. He's an expert on the fort's history, and hopefully he can give us some answers.
The riots were a terrible time. We had, machine gun fire all around the city. You could hear it, smell the smoke of the burning buildings. 43 people killed. Some of them, no doubt, were innocent victims of fire by the National Guard or the Army. Some of the victims, I believe there was a 4-year-old girl, a deaf-mute, headed to the bus stop, a TV repairman, a roofer on a roof actually attempting to put out a fire on his roof because hundreds, possibly thousands of homes burnt down during the riots. Fort Wayne played a role. The officers' quarters were used by the city housing department to house families that had had their homes burnt or destroyed.
Do you know if anyone was killed on the property?
As far as they know, no. But it's possible that some of the families here could have been connected to some of the people that were killed.
We know that families were relocated to the fort after the riots. So could the pain and suffering of that tragic event be somehow connected to the activity here? Tonight, I'm hoping to find some answers. Amy and I will investigate the main barracks. Jess will man the monitors. And Brian, Chris, and Jason will search the grounds and the guardhouse. Let's try a few EVPs.
Did your family live here?
Could you tell us what your name is? Were you stationed here?
Did you live here during the riots?
That's right above us.
Yeah.
There's someone walking right across. Let's go check it out. Be careful.
I don't like it up here. It's scary.
I know I heard those footsteps coming from up here. I know I did.
There's nobody up here.
No?
So a lot of these buildings that we're walking by right now, these are probably the same buildings that they were using during the riots for the homeless families to stay in. So,
Well, there's still a lot of buildings to cover, so Chris, check that door. So make sure all these doors are closed.
there's no going in there.
Yeah, these seem to be barred off.
Yeah.
Welded shut.
That one's not opening.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that, dude? I'm gonna go down this way.
The door's open down here.
All right, careful, careful.
Hello? Dude, it smells like smoke down here.
Wow, it does. Hold back, guys, hold back.
Okay, there's a circuit breaker right there. It's not burning, is it?
Here, get a reading off of it.
It's dead.
I don't see anything in here that could have caused that. Oh, wait. Why was it just in here short-circuiting?
Did the breaker have power?
This thing hasn't been used in a very long time.
Okay, this is creepy.
Anything back there?
I got a box in here.
What's in there?
Holy crap. Yeah, this is full of stuff, man. I'm getting slight slight readings, but nothing, Whoa. Hold on, man. No, I just spiked to a 13.8.
It's weird.
What the hell? Holy... I'm getting slight readings, but nothing, Whoa. Hold on, man. No, I just spiked to a 13.8.
It's weird.
What the hell? Alright, you guys gotta check this out. What the heck is this, man?
Is that what's giving us a signal?
Yeah,
there we go.
Let me give Johnny a call. Hey, Johnny, you there?
Yeah, buddy, I'm here. What's up?
Hey, we're in the basement
Of one of the houses, and we...
pulled something out. What do you want us to do? Okay, I'm gonna head over there.
We'll just meet you outside.
What's happening?
It came in this, but this is what the big question mark is about.
Okay, what led you to over here?
We saw a flashing light down there. It's like an electrical charge.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. This was kind of the area that we were led to last night.
Well, I don't know how it's tying in, but I'll have to get it to somebody tomorrow and try and figure that out. Today I'm meeting with Shirley from Village Antiques. She's been dealing with antiques for 50 years. I'm hoping she could share some more information on this item with me. Shirley, when I first saw this, I looked at it and thought it might have been some type of a torture device.
Oh, no, quite the opposite. This is not a torture device. This is a safety feature. These are roofing spikes used by roofers to keep them up on the roof for safety reasons.
Mm-hmm.
These went on their front of their shoe to give them traction. You can't be up on the roof without something like this. Just like, you know, a life jacket on a boater. You need something to protect you, and this is what they chose.
Okay. What would you say, how old is that item?
Well, the design of it, the material that it's made of, the straps, these are probably from the 50s and used well into the 60s.
We definitely know that a roofer was killed in the Detroit riots. Did this item belong to him? I'm not quite sure, but it does date to around the same time. I'm going to have Amy look further into the roofer's death before we meet up with Chris. Chris, I'd like to thank you for inviting us in here to investigate. We found during the course of our investigation this one particular source of negative energy.
Okay.
I'd like you to listen to an EVP right now.
Okay.
Did somebody bring you here?
Wow. Fired.
Yes.
That's really, really clear. Where do you think that might have come from?
Well, during the course of the investigation, Brian, Jason, and Chris had gone back down where all the condemned houses were, and they started to see some lights and some activity that was taking place over there. So they went in and they started investigating, and they pulled something out. I'd like to show that to you now.
Yeah, well, definitely see. Oh, wow.
We found out today what these actually are roofing spikes that a roofer would put on the back of his shoe and dig into that roof so he would not fall off.
Wow.
As you know, the Detroit riots were a very violent and chaotic time, and if you were in the wrong place at the wrong time, you could have been one of the innocent people that was killed.
Yeah, absolutely.
We learned that there was a roofer whose apartment caught fire. In an attempt to save his home and his neighbors, he went on top of the roof with a mop and a bucket, and as he was trying to pat the fire out, he was gunned down by the National Guard, who thought he was a sniper.
He had a wife and 2 small children. We can't find out 100%, Chris, if they were here on the property, but as you know, the fort was used to house a lot of people,
yes,
especially during the riots. So if the roofer's grieving family was relocated here, it's possible they could have brought this with them.
Wow. It's amazing to see how it all ties in.
That's something that's a historical piece
Absolutely.
of Detroit. And I do feel that needs to remain here on display.
I'm sure that, you know, we can't honor those people. We honor them every day just by keep going and watching, you know, the city of Detroit get built up every day.
That's right. Absolutely. We can never predict how and where troubled spirits may reach out. By acknowledging the roofer's demise, Chris and his staff here at Fort Wayne may finally be free of some of that negative energy on the property.